Let's start with Whitney. We just did a deep dive on how she got exposed and caught for basically lying on Lisa Barlow, in cahoots with Up and Adam, and fabricated this whole conversation about her allegedly spilling the tea that Whitney was allegedly, because people like to sue people. So if I say allegedly a lot, I apologize. Selling Alibaba jewelry at a huge, huge markup. And as we now know, Dana Wilkie, who broke the story, said that that's not true. It is a lie, and basically said Adam got pressured into lying for Whitney, and now Adam's trying to back out of it. And basically alluded to the fact that it was actually Heather who who leaked the information to her. Now, what else I want to say about Whitney is this. I think this needs to be her last season because she is hard to listen to and is extremely hard to watch. Like, I don't know what is going on with her, but she has this way. She's like the Lisa Rinna of the series. She has this way of just making up lies, repeating it as if it's true, and then also recruiting people to be her little henchmen. Like Angie is her little henchman. Bronwyn is her little henchman. Who else is her little henchman? Those are really like her little henchmen. And it's just like, why and how? I'm tired of Whitney. I'm tired of her husband. Like, why is he getting in the mix in the drama? Like, why is he texting that weird Jarrett guy to come? Why is he getting into Lisa Barlow's face and swearing at her? I was just like, John, if you don't, step to this dude and get him. I was so proud of John Barlow. He was like, don't swear at my wife. I was like, yes, John, go. Like, why is he getting in the women's business? Like, don't you have a job or did you get fired again? You know what I mean? Like, why is he all up in people's business? Like, I need him to have several seats. I just feel like Whitney's whole life is a lie. I feel like, it's just all weird with Whitney. That's where I land with her. Angie, to me, Angie is tired and boring. Again, I think that this could be her last season. I'm tired of Angie just being a mouthpiece and literally having like zero brain cells in her head that to think for herself. She just sounds like a wind-up doll. She's clearly regurgitating everything that Whitney is saying back out and then going after Lisa. And let this be a cautionary tale to everyone, but particularly the ladies out there. When you are a Lisa Barlow type girl, you're just kind of like that girl. Don't befriend women who feel less than you. Because the moment they get the opportunity to stab you in the back, the moment they get the opportunity to throw you under the bus, they will do it. They will do it. That's why you see Angie just blindly believing everything Whitney is saying about Lisa, twisting things when Lisa is just like, what is your problem? Like, I thought we were friends. Like, what is going on here? And Angie, you did say Lisa was a bad mom, saying that she just like lets her son play video games and all this other stuff. And Lisa didn't say anything about your parenting skills. She said when you want to get off the phone, you use the excuse of Electra to get off the phone. That is not a commentary on how you parent or you being a mother. Again, your one brain cell is firing off because you don't even understand that. It's apples to oranges. She wasn't talking about you being a mother. She could have said, oh, when you want to get off the phone, you say, oh, I have to go pee really bad. That's the excuse you use. Same difference. You actually went and talked about her as a mother. Two different conversations. Two totally different ways to disrespect someone. So, girl, bye. Miss me with that. Also, Angie, I think it's weird that you're leaning into the mafia stuff. I thought the mafia theme was tired and lame and just bizarre to me. I'm also confused as to why your husband is still so in his feelings about Meredith. I don't want her in this house. I don't ever want to see her again. Like, buck up, buddy. Who cares? And first of all, it wasn't even Meredith who said those rumors. As we all know, it was Monica who spread the rumors, and it was Monica who brought it to the show. I'm still confused why Angie doesn't actually understand that. Like, did she not get the memo that it was actually Monica who said it, and it was Monica who said it on camera, and it was Monica who brought it to the show? Like, did Angie just forget that? Why is she still so mad and angry at Meredith for what Monica did? I don't understand Angie. And her weird, Tweedledee and Tweedledum friendship with Mary, that's really bizarre to me too. I don't know. I just don't check for Angie. I think she's boring. I think she's tired. And I think that she does herself a disservice by being Whitney's mouthpiece. I think if she just would think for herself and have her own opinion on things, then maybe she would actually be more interesting to me. But if all you're going to do is just sit there and yell at Lisa Barlow for breathing next, like we already have that with Whitney. We don't really need that with you. And I feel like Angie K kind of morphs into the personality of the alpha girl in the room that she's into. Because when Angie Harrington was on the show, to me, Angie Harrington and Angie K were the same person. It's just that Angie K never talked. And now that she's talking, she just sounds like Whitney. So it's just really weird and really, really whack to me. Like, it's just weird and bizarre. I don't really see it for Angie like that, to be perfectly honest. Be perfectly honestly with you. Yeah, that's pretty much where I land with Angie on it. She can miss me with it. Now let's talk about Bronwyn. What do you guys think about her? Are we liking her as a new housewife? What do we think? I don't like her. I don't mean to be like, I don't like any of these people. I don't mean it that way. But I'll tell you why she's not working for me. I've seen some, headlines. Oh, it's great. She's good. Not for me. And I'll tell you why she doesn't work for me. She doesn't work for me because she has, and which happens a lot. I think that she is fronting. I think Heather is spot on with her read of Bronwyn. Bronwyn is very two-faced and she's fronting. She's acting like she's some very cool, confident, down to earth, cool girl. But to me, she has a insecure, nervous energy to her. I think a part of it is it's her first year, that first year nervous energy. And also a part of it is I think that she never grew out of imposter syndrome, that she doesn't belong where she is, which happens a lot when people maybe marry into money like she did. I feels like even though she's in her 40s or about to be, I don't know how old she is. Let's just say she's in her 40s. She's in her 40s. She's been married to this man with all this money for 10 years. She's a mother. She has the status X, Y, and Z. As we know, none of that can replace how you feel on the inside about yourself. And the reason why I think that she still thinks that she doesn't belong where she belongs is because she constantly brings it up. When she's on the show, she's like, everybody said I wasn't pretty enough to be a trophy wife. And then every other sentence, her whole personality is how much money her husband has, how much money she spends on things, and how old her husband is. Oh, he has gout. I wasn't alive when he did this in his life. His son is older than me. He hates it when I say that. And it's just like, your whole personality is basically just how old and rich your husband is and how nobody thought you were cute enough to be with him. And she's like, but we're still 10 years strong. And I'm like, that's not like cute to me. And like, oh, this jacket, there's only 3 in the world, and this is couture, and this painting is $1 gazillion. Like, show me, don't tell me that you have money. Show me, don't tell me that you have the fashions and the look. Show me, don't tell me that you are that girl. That's why Lisa Barlow can wear sweatpants and still be that girl. It's an energetic thing. It's an aura. That girls are born, they're not made. You can glow up, but unless you have that thing about you, it really doesn't matter. You're not going to be that girl. You can still be confident and secure, but that girl, that's an energy type deal. And she doesn't have it. And that's okay. She doesn't have to have it. But she's acting like she does when she doesn't. And I think she's deeply insecure. And also, what I hate is when a newbie comes in and the first thing they do is flip on the girl on the other person who brought them in the group. Automatic, don't like them. The first thing Bronwyn did was flip. First thing. Now she's best friends with Whitney Rose. Now she's best friends with Angie. And this is how you know Bronwyn really ain't nothing. So the whole situation when Heather and Angie were having the conversation about Lisa, and Angie was bad mouthing Lisa about her parenting and saying she was a bad mother, right? Then Lisa goes to who does Lisa confide in about this? Does she confide in Bronwyn, I think? Yeah, so she confides in Bronwyn about it. And then Bronwyn goes to Mary, I think, and talks to Mary about it. And then says, oh, Angie needs to know this. She needs to know that Heather is saying this about her. It's, it's my job to go tell Angie that Lisa told Heather what she said. What? What? To parrot Heather, what in the effery is going on? And then she goes up to Angie and she says, and this is how I know Whitney, Angie, and Bronwyn all have an alliance because they talked in code, but it's obvious. She goes, we're honest with each other, right? Which is code for we have each other's back and we already told each other that we're going to look out for each other. So why are you having Angie's back, looking out for Angie? You don't really care about Lisa and what's going on with her and how she's feeling hurt. Her son is sick in a different country. She can't even go visit him. Then you have Angie backstabbing her and talking about her parenting. But the person that you are concerned about is Angie, who just told your friend, your good girlfriend, allegedly, that she's a bad mother. You didn't say to Angie, hey, that was a low blow. You know Lisa is struggling because Jack is sick. You do know that the comparison between calling her a bad mother and saying that you have an excuse to get off the phone is not the same thing. Hey, what you said to my friend Lisa was wrong. Maybe you should apologize. That wasn't your first instinct, but your first instinct was to make sure Angie had the heads up. But you want to tell me that you did not come on this show with an agenda. You want to tell me that you actually are not so intimidated and insecure by the presence of Lisa Barlow that the moment you had half a chance to stab her in the back, you stabbed her twice. Because since you set foot on this show, you have been doing nothing but dogging out Lisa and dogging out Heather. And who hates Lisa and Heather? Whitney. Because I don't care what you say. Whitney and Heather hate each other. I don't buy this. We're cousins. No, I think it's all surface, all fake. I think they used to really have a friendship. I think they used to really be there for each other. But I think when Heather started loving herself and Heather started speaking up for herself, Whitney didn't like that. Whitney didn't like it. When Heather found her voice, she didn't like it. And I also think that Heather didn't like it when Whitney dropped her for Lisa, because Whitney and Lisa got close. She literally said to Heather, we need to take a friendship break because she wanted to go be friends with Lisa. And then Lisa became friends with Heather, and then Whitney didn't like it. I mean, it sounds like they're fighting over a man. How deep they're going with this. I need to take a break from you because I want to go be friends with her. I think they just have a hate for each other. You know what I'm saying? I think it's there. But Bronwyn to me also reminds me of like a theater kid. Like she's just extra. She's always dramatic. She delivers her lines in a nervous way, like she's like trying to remember them, but like in a quirky, weird way. Like, oh, Angie, I heard you talked about Lisa's mothering. Is that what I heard? I want to get the story right. Like that's how Bronwyn talks. She's like, okay, let's go get some lattes, guys, and then we're gonna go to Fendi and do some shopping with my old husband's credit card. Like, what? Like, what, what in the hell? Like, talk normal, Bronwyn. She just reminds me of a theater kid. I don't think she's found her footing. And personally, I'm not really here for her. I know a lot of people online are like, oh, Bronwyn's great, blah, 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 blah. I'm personally not one of them. I think that she showed us who she is. And also, you're just Whitney's mouthpiece because everything you're saying is just a regurgitation of what Whitney told you. Because like I don't know if you guys watched the after show, but I would highly suggest watch the after show on Peacock because it gives such good insight and you can see that like we are right about all of the alliances and everything going on. So definitely watch the after show. Okay. Now let's see. Okay, Lisa. Lisa's my girl. Love her. Obviously, she did not send the information to Dana Wilkie about Whitney Rose's jewelry line. That has been debunked and cleared up and all of that stuff. My note for Lisa, because I do love her and I do think she's that girl, but my note for her is similar to a note I had for her last season, which was she needs to relax into being that girl. Like at the end, like at this episode, I was like screaming at the TV because she was getting so angry and was like, I'm gonna call my cybersecurity person and I'm gonna send you the bill and she was like yelling and all this stuff. And I get it. In the moment you're pissed, there's a history of this woman coming at you and coming at you and lying at you and lying on you. And like, and like, I get it. Somebody is sitting and playing in your face and lying in your face. And Whitney stood there and lied dead to her face with a straight face like it was nothing. That's a dangerous, scary person. Whitney was lying through her teeth. And Adam told it. He was like, yeah, she called me and said we had to, and asked me to call so they could get the shot for continuity, which means that when, what's her name? Whitney was saying to Lisa, oh, we have proofs that people verified it. She was lying because they hadn't even shot that scene yet. They shot it after and went back and inserted it to make it look like it happened before it did. To make the story be in sequence. Up and Adam said it. It's on his channel. You guys can watch it. I'm not making it up. He said she called and said we need to shoot it for continuity. And Dana Wilkie said it too, that she believes Whitney called Adam, pressured him into saying what she needed him to say about Lisa, and he folded and he did. And now he clearly regrets it because it's obvious that Whitney and Adam were lying. Okay? So I get it, Lisa. I would want to, I get it. I would want to Molly Whopper. I would want to. I get it. However, you gotta stop letting these little chicken heads get under your skin. The way you win that is to pay them dust. You can still say what you want to say, but the energy that you say it in, the composure you have needs to be all the way 0 F's given. Like, Lisa, you are that girl. Just like Angie said, you've had a problem with all these women because all of these women have been jealous of you. Whether you like Lisa Barlow or not, that is undeniable. That these women have all gone after her simply because they feel some type of way about how much confidence she has in herself. That is undeniable. It's undeniable. It's not even up for debate. Whether you like her or not, that's the facts. Watch the show. So remember that. Because when you're in that moment and you were that girl, I would look at Whitney and I'd be like, oh, really? Wow, that's really funny. You know what? I have a really great guy in cybersecurity. Let me do you a favor. I'm going to hire him to get to the bottom of this. Because you know what, Whit? I am a woman who supports women, and I really want to get to the bottom of this. So let me call my cybersecurity guy. So let me know, what was the name of the podcaster? What was the name of the person who told you this? Can you just send me everything? I just want to have all the information and we are going to get to the bottom of this. I'm so concerned that this is happening to you. I'm flattered that you think that I would do it. That's how I would play it. Because the problem is when they get under Lisa's skin and she pops off and she yells, very similar to the situation with like Shannon Bedore and like a Tamara Judge. When they're all out to dinner and Tamara says something that is so horrible and such a lie and just so mean and evil, and then Shannon just yells and screams and she leaves and she gets up and goes to the bathroom and stomps off and then she's pouting for us of the night. It's like, ugh, if you would just take a break, just take a beat, count to 10, compose yourself, and then methodically read these evil witches for filth, you would win the scene and you would win the day. Because at the end of the day, you're going to win because you're the one telling the truth. That's why Shannon is winning on the OC and we all want Tamara fired. That's why Lisa, like her or not, she's winning this on Salt Lake City because it's exposed that Whitney was lying. So even if you like Whitney, you have to admit she is a liar and she was trying to set up Lisa. And we're not making this up. This came from Dana and Adam. And we have the screenshots. And in the after show, they even talk about it. Meredith even said that the podcaster, she was talking about Dana, called her and said it wasn't Lisa. She said Adam even called her and said it wasn't Lisa. So it's obvious, and that Adam even told Whitney it wasn't Lisa. So even if you like Whitney, you have to admit she purposely lied. Even if you don't like Lisa, you have to admit she was being set up. Those are the facts. So my note to Lisa is do not let these people like an Angie or a Whitney or a Bronwyn knock you off your position because they keep coming at her, you know? And that's why I'm loving, I'll talk about Meredith now. I'm loving the Lisa and Meredith friendship. Like the way they started the show, how close they were. They are a vibe. They're a vibe. And I also love the Lisa and Heather friendship. They're a vibe too. And I love that they're not falling for the okey doke. Like they've all wised up after the whole, at least after the whole Monica situation. I think Meredith really wised up and is very appreciative to Lisa because Lisa didn't throw her under the bus. She gave her the benefit of the doubt and was really there for her during the whole Monica situation when Monica was trying to take down Meredith to use Meredith to take everybody else down. And I love that they made the pact to if somebody tries to come between us, we come to each other and we talk first. We don't just blindly believe them. And then we've seen throughout this season, time and time again, Whitney, Angie, even Bronwyn going to Meredith, trying to talk her against Lisa. Then you had Angie going to Heather, trying to talk Heather against Lisa. And then she got pissed when Heather said, you're actually the person who's in the wrong here, and you're coming after Lisa. You've changed the dynamics of your friendship. You no longer have Lisa's back, but you're not actually telling her why. And that is true. Angie, to me, clearly chose to be aligned with Whitney. And all Whitney has tunnel vision is I hate Lisa, I hate Lisa, I hate Lisa. That's basically her affirmation of the day. It's sick and bizarre and obsessed. And unless you join that I hate Lisa train, those girls aren't checking for you. Bronwyn is on the I hate Lisa train. Whitney, Mary, to me, Mary's a bit of just. Let's talk about Mary. One, I want to say it's very refreshing that Mary is really opening up this season. I actually really like Mary now that she's opening up and is being more of a human being. Like she's talking about her son and his struggles with drugs. I know he's in rehab now, sending lots of prayers and hope he gets better because on camera he's clearly whacked out of his mind. And she's basically like, well, better to have him home than like out on the street. Read between those lines. She's like, at least if he's home, I can be here to help him if something happens versus if he's just out there on the street doing what he's doing. I think that my heart goes out to any any person, but especially a parent who has a child with an addiction. That has to be really, really hard. So my heart goes out to Mary for that. I'm also liking that she's opening up about her family life, about how like her mother, who clearly had some mental health issues, because there's no way that you have money and means, but you choose not to feed your children. That's either evil or a mental health issue or something going on there, because she was saying how her mother would think of herself first. They had all this money and they didn't have any food. Like they had like cabbage or something, she said. And so now you see why Mary is the way she is, why she's a hoarder, why she enables her son, all of these things because of what happened to her in her own childhood. So it was refreshing to have her talk about those things and how her son never met any of his grandparents, except for, I didn't want to say it, but it's like his dad is his step great grandparent. So maybe that's why he didn't want to go to school on Grandparents' Day. Because he would have to bring his father on Father's Day and his father on Grandparents' Day too. So, Mary, let's keep it all the way funky and real. Maybe he wanted to stay home on Grandparents' Day because his father is also his step grandfather. Just throwing it out there. Kids can be cruel. Kids can be cruel. But I'm really loving Mary. Where I don't agree with her is I don't know, why is she going so hard for Heather? Like, is it just because Whitney and Angie don't like Heather really? And so she's just like, well, I'm friends with Angie, so let me just go after Heather. Like, I don't know why she's going so hard for Heather. Heather, your lies and you, like, what happened? Like, I'm confused. Like, Mary has always been mean to Heather, but this is a different type of mean. Usually she's just shading Heather. You look inbred. You don't look good. Do they make it in your size? Usually she's just like shading her, but the way she's going at her is different. Like calling her a liar and two-faced and all this stuff. I don't know where all that's coming from. Like, I think, I'm not saying Heather is perfect. I think Heather does her job. She will go, she will stir the pot, she will, do what she has to do, but not more so than anybody else, or not even in a very diabolical way either. So I'm not sure why Mary is coming so hard for Heather. I'm a little confused on that one. I'm bummed that there's going to be a Mary and Meredith fallout. My guess is because she's so close to Angie that there's going to come a point where maybe Angie and Meredith have another thing or something. And we all know how Angie hates Meredith. So maybe it's like, you know what? Like, I'm just going to ride for Angie no matter what. And I'm just going to ride with her. And so I'm going to beef with who she beefs with because this is my girl. That's the only thing I can think of, because why would Meredith and Mary have a falling out when they've always had a really good relationship? So we'll see. We'll see with that. Who else is there? I like Meredith on the show. She seems more of a friend of than full time. And they've done that for the last couple of seasons with Meredith, where she's full time, but she doesn't get a lot of screen time. But I like her though. I do. And I like her friendship with Heather. I like her friendship with Lisa. I like her vibe. I like Meredith kind of minds her business and just sort of comes in and says stuff. She's not really bothering anybody. I like that she beefs with Whitney and doesn't let Whitney, boss her around or tell her what to do or gaslight her. So I'm living for that. Britney. Let's talk about Britney. Britney. I'm tired of Britney. I'm super confused at what is going on. What am I looking at on my screen? You guys need to listen to the after show. She was saying how, and this is the thing though, she's crying about Jared all the time, but apparently her and Jared would be together, then they would break up, and then both of them would just be on Tinder, on Plenty of Fish. What are the other things? I don't know, just on dating apps. And then they both would go out and have sex and date and all these people in between and then go back to each other. Which again, there's nothing wrong. If you are single and you're ready to mingle and you want to go out there and you want to have fun and you want to dip it and do it, as long as you're safe and consenting, knock yourself all the way out. I only say that to say this. Why did Britney act like Jared was the absolute love of her life? He was the only one and he was so crazy, when the truth is they both are just playing toxic, twisted games with each other. That's pretty much what it was, just sick and twisted and toxic. And the gag is it sounds like she's still in love with him, but they're surprised not together because she caught him cheating on her again. Like, just let it go. And the whole thing with like Whitney's husband texting him and he just so happened to be like dressed up for the mafia party, like, and then her being like, oh, I wanted this grand gesture. Why did you come here crying? And I was like, Brittany, he didn't come for you. He came for the cameras. He didn't come here to win you back. He came here to get some camera time. He came for the cameras. What you talking about? He didn't come for you. He didn't even look at you. He was like, all right, well, you got a date. Let's go. Let's go back inside. Get some let's get some wine. Let's go back inside. He didn't come for you. He didn't have a present. He didn't have a rose. He didn't have anything. He was like, I'm not here to mess up your date. He was there to get camera time. That is why he was there. He's there for the show. That's why he's there, sweetheart. I'm tired of Britney. I don't really think. I mean, Britney would be. Does she have a tagline? I don't even know. If she does, I don't even know. But she can be a friend of and be filler. But like to actually follow her, no, thank you. No, thank you. I'm not here for it. Mm-mm, not here for it. So I think that was everybody, right? Let's see. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing like where the season goes and like like any new alliances, anything being exposed. It seems like I wonder if Whitney's going to be exposed on the show for having blatantly lied and tried to set up Lisa for this. I don't know if it's one of those things where they just ride out the season and it's like who do you believe and they don't know until the end. So I want to know what happens with that and what happens with all the ladies. So I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I want to see how it goes. Again, I don't like Bronwyn. She can leave. Angie can leave. Brittany can be a friend of. Whitney can leave. But I'm gonna watch and I'm gonna see what it needs to see what it's gonna do. So yeah, you guys.